Well, it's probably going to get dirty again in the next day or two, but it really needs to get rinsed off, so I am going to do that now. I'm sick and tired of the dirt for at least a day, so let's get this thing going. Not bad for $3. All right, so today is shopping day. I am in Boise, Idaho, and I meant to do a lot more shopping in Oregon with no sales tax. I was really looking forward to that, but the route that I took, it would have made no sense to drive completely out of my way to some stores that were that had cheap items and not pay sales tax. I would have spent that money in gas. So now that I'm in Boise, I went ahead and booked a hotel already for today, free. So that's awesome, not even any sales tax. And I check in at 3 o'clock, so I'm waiting for that. I think it's only about 1 o'clock. So just washed off the Jeep, stopped at the Fred Meyer gas station, which is the cheapest gas in town, and I've never had a problem with their gas. Just went inside and bought the cheap items that I could find. I picked up, I love that it's cherry season, $1.68 a pound, so I got a couple of pounds of those. Picked up some things that I only get on occasion, and a couple of other things that are cheaper than I could actually get them at Walmart. So Walmart's my next stop. Might even stop at a Dollar Tree. I picked up those cold items because I'm going to have a fridge in my room tonight, so I can keep those cold overnight. Maybe even if it's big enough, stick them in the freezer and keep them colder even longer, because I've got them in my soft-sided cooler, which only keeps stuff cold for about 24 hours, if that. And so I'm going to pick up some lunch meat for the same reason, so that I can have that on the trails tomorrow. I'm going to do Sawtooth tomorrow and whatever else I come across. I'm just going to try to get everything in place and take advantage of having the refrigerator, having a room for tonight. Doing laundry, so I picked up some more laundry detergent. I was running low on that, and it's cheaper than buying it at the hotel. And you know, just trying to make the best and the most out of stops like these. So to me, that's important. I try to save every nickel that I possibly can, and it annoys me when I have the opportunity to save some money and then I have to spend more money later on by not taking advantage of situations like this. So that's my day today. It's a hot day doing it, though. It's going to be 98 today in Boise. I definitely miss the snow. All right, so I just checked into here and need to grab all the stuff out of the Jeep. Got a front row parking spot, which I like, by the door. Less likely for something to happen to it. So I got a room at the end of the hall, which is what I like. And got a little kitchen area, but full-size fridge, so I'll be freezing my juice in there to keep everything colder longer. Sitting area, bedroom, and bath. So not too bad. I'll take it. The air conditioning's nice since it's 98 degrees outside. And got here early enough that I could take care of a bunch of things like the laundry and moving stuff, files and things like that on my laptop. But also I can plan out what I want to do. I've got good cell phone reception here, and obviously be making videos, but this is actually the most cold stuff that I've bought in a while. Got chocolate milk, Simply Lemonade, and meat and cheese. I got bread in there, and then I even picked up some potato salad. So that's pretty much what I'll be eating for the next 2 days, so it doesn't go bad on me. But tomorrow I'll drop this in the freezer after I drink some of it, and that way it'll keep everything cold. All I've got is this soft-sided cooler that I brought with me. It collapses and I fit it under the dashboard when I'm not using it, but it does the job that it needs to do. But more importantly, it doesn't take up any space when I'm not using it, which is 90% of the time, if not more. So that's that. I've got a a lot of laundry to do, so that's what's next. Alright, so I'm in Lower Hardin Creek Road, and the road here did not have a sign that said no camping, but it did say that it was a fire area at some point and to be careful, and then it also had the gate was open and it said closed to June 30th. So it goes quite a ways back here, and I'm not sure what the topography looks like. I'm hoping that it keeps going up, but there are these huge trenches, and I don't know if this was for the fire or if they're trying to keep people out. Some of these trenches are really deep. I even felt probably my muffler drag across one of them, but like I said, the road was open and it didn't say anything about do not enter, so I'm on it. I'm trying to find an out-of-the-way spot. I'm outside of Stanley, Idaho, and the campgrounds are just nuts. Not that I stay at campgrounds anyway, but I was thinking of that as a last resort, because I'm really tired, and found this road, so I'm going to see what I end up with. And if I find a spot that looks decent up here, I'm just going to call it a night. But here's another one. This is like the 20th one I've come across, and this one is about, I don't know, about a foot deep. That one's not too bad, but some of them were really deep. Like this one here. Yeah, it's a pretty decent one. So I don't know if they just want to keep cars out of here, because it did warn on a sign that it's a narrow road, unmaintained, so maybe that's their way of keeping cars out, or maybe they're trying to keep me out. I don't know, but I didn't see any signs to the contrary, so here I am. That's a pretty big one. Can't go over them too fast either because they're pretty jarring. Not exactly smooth transitions ever. I've got to literally crawl over these things. They got 5,300 pounds, and I can't just keep jarring the Jeep over and over by hitting those hard, so I've got to take them slow, and it is definitely slow going because of those. I hope the view is worth it, because well, either way, I'm staying here for the night. This is it, because I'm already in the opposite direction. I headed north instead of south, and I want to head south past Stanley to just start on the Sawtooth Byway. Alright, so I ended up finding this really nice road. It gets narrow in some places, but I drove right off of both of my maps. So the map I had on my phone, the GPS, Garmin, neither one of these are picking these up. I was following it, hoping I would get to higher ground yet still, but it's just following the ridge line and not really going up to the top of anything. These are just forestry roads, not necessarily camping roads for nice spots. But kind of committed here. I need to find a place to turn around and go back. I see a road across the valley, and I wouldn't be surprised if this somehow leads over there and I never make it to higher ground. So I think I'm going to find a place to turn around, and even though it was kind of dusty, there was a nice spot that was a little bit off the road. No one's going to be up here, I don't think, on a Sunday. They're not going to come this far, and call that home for the night. It had some pretty cool views of the Sawtooth Mountains, so it's kind of what I wanted. It's not like a 360 at the top of a hill, but it'll work. So I found a spot to turn around. I'm probably about 1 to 2 miles down this road, so I am going to find my way back to something a little more picturesque. It's still in the burn area, I think, but I'll just have to watch out for the trees, and they were pretty small in that area, so anything that does fall is going to hurt the Jeep and not come through. Here's a good shot of forest, all burnt up. Alright, so there the Jeep sits all level. It's a little side road, doesn't go much further than the back of the Jeep there. And this is where I came up from, that area there. And out the front is that view, which looks a little bit nicer in person. But those are the Sawtooth Mountains. Since it's so cloudy, I'm going to wait till tomorrow to launch the drone. Hopefully it'll be a bit better. But it is a bit dusty, so I don't plan on walking around too much outside now that I've got things organized in there. And I'll make my way back down to the main road tomorrow morning and then decide if I want to hike or just continue on the Sawtooth byway. But for now, that's home. Hopefully it'll cool off a little bit. It'd be great if we did get some rain. And one thing to point out is, since this is a burn area, I looked all around and there aren't any trees that are dead that are going to be able to fall in the Jeep. So this is a nice open area, and the closest trees are right there, and they're still alive. So, and they're leaning back into the other side, so should be all right, even if there are winds and a storm. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the night. I still got my cooler with stuff in it, so I'll work on that tonight, crawl inside, and probably call it an early evening. I'm pretty tired, so that's it for tonight. There are the Sawtooth Mountains. That's more what they look like in person. So they are pretty far away, but you can definitely make out all the peaks. my view this morning. It's going on 9 o'clock. It was so peaceful up here. You can't hear any traffic whatsoever. No loud noise of anything. And man, it was awesome. I fell asleep early. I didn't wake up till 8:30. It was a great sleep. So I'm going to go ahead and launch a drone. Just made some coffee and start heading out. But this ended up being a really great spot. So here's the entrance to where I went in. So you got narrow, steep road, gates open, seasonal restrictions. So it opened on June 30th. And then up there it says entering burned area and for your safety. So nothing about you can't go up there. So I did. But mine were the only tracks other than the bulldozer tracks that I saw pretty much all the way, so I was kind of surprised about that. But cool area, and glad I stayed there for the night. It was definitely out of the way. Another nice spot for sure.